Yes, honey.
Yes.
I'm loving this.
Thank you. Just a little something, right? Just a little something, honey. Yes, girl.
Yes. Slay.
Yes, sis, with the headband on, girl. You really goddess, honey. Yes, ma'am.
I had to wear my crown for the queen.
I love it. You better know, okay?
And I saw you wear one of these in the episode too. So,
girl, yeah, it had a life of its own. But I had it on.
I love it.
Thank you.
We're going to have so much fun. I'm so happy to be sitting with you. I'm so excited about today.
Thank you for interviewing. Thank you for reaching out. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
We are excited. I mean,
Yay.
Love the show. I think I really love the show for so many reasons. I mean, just the imagery of strong, successful Black women who are just powerful and making moves. We need to see that in television. Yeah. It's not like we're just the wife or, anything like that. Like, we are the boss. And that's truly what we're seeing nowadays.
You are so right. And that just reminds me of a post that I made on yesterday where I said women are no longer existing. Women are living. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we are really coming into our own. We're really being confident in our abilities and we're really taking action. So girl, I'm like, we have arrived, honey. Okay. We've always been here, but now we're owning it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that brings me to my first question. What brought you into entrepreneurship? Because, I can say from my own experience, we're really taught like, go get a job. But what gave you the courage to just really get into entrepreneurship?
Well, the thing is, I've always dabbled and dabbed into entrepreneurship on the side, and I never would let go of my 9 to 5. So it's something that's been that was inside of me. It was just that fear wouldn't let me just go 120. You know what I mean? So it's something that's inside of me. I watch my mom just really go hard, on a 9 to 5. And I just knew that was not my life, but that fear kept me on that 9 to 5. So after I had my son and he had acid reflux really bad, so he came at 6 weeks, I took him to the daycare, right, to go back to my 9 to 5. And he like spit up across the room and I was still there. And the caretaker, she actually it freaked her out. She gave him to me really, really fast. Like, oh my God, it freaked her out. So in that moment, I was like, you know what? This is not for me. And that's how we have to do our businesses. We have to treat our businesses like our baby. Like, I don't care what it's going to take. I don't care what it is that we're going to have to do, to make it work, but it's going to work. And that was in 2015. So, hey, it's been up from there, girl.
Up from there.
Yeah.
And I mean, that really brings up a good point with entrepreneurship, though. Like, how do you balance it all? How do you balance being a wife, a mother, And I know that was one of Antoinette's concerns with having a child, that your career, in a sense, has to take a second seat to your child. So how do you balance it all?
Oh my God, how am I balancing it all? Because I am figuring out along the way. It's something totally different. My son just turned 6. So prior to him, it was just me and my husband. So I was just moving, making things happen. So now with him, it's definitely different. I'll have to turn it off. I'm getting up earlier now. Normally I would get up, 6 o'clock. Now I'm getting up at 4:30, just doing things before it's time for him to wake up, so he can see mom. And after school, it's like, you know what? I'm still mom. So I had to really put myself on a schedule to like, okay, I can't take calls from this time. I can't do certain things at this time because I don't want him to just see mommy just work. There's no bicycle time. So I'm really just putting myself on a schedule to figure it out and make it work.
Yeah, and I can only imagine how challenging it is to consistently balance that. And speaking of that, your husband, when he gets off the road or when he comes home, he definitely had, some issues with not getting that special treatment because you were in your season, sis. You were just manifesting everything that you wanted. But he didn't understand that. But this brings me to the contract. Did you sign the contract, and how did it feel when he presented that to you?
Well, honey, you're gonna have to keep watching about the contract, okay? Just keep watching, okay? Just keep watching. But it made me feel really I don't know. I cannot really express how it made me feel because you got to think about it. We've been together for over 20 years. So this is not just my husband. This is my best friend. We've experienced everything together. So this is new for both of us. So for him to present me with that contract, I was just like, where is the friendship? What's happening here? And I know that I'm growing. I know that I'm transitioning, but to me, I'm still the same. So I can't even. I was mad. I was hurt. I was frustrated. I wanted to punch him. And there were so many emotions that I can't even explain, but really hurt and just like disappointed to think that, I would ever just throw you to the side when you have put me in a position to win so many times. So I was just really hurt and disappointed.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. And I mean, like you said, you guys have a history, a journey. I'm divorced myself, but I dealt with infidelity. I dealt with infidelity, and so I really connected to your story when you said that that's something that you dealt with in your marriage. What advice could you give wives who experience the same thing and really put them in a position where they can keep going in their marriage?
I think, and I tell people all the time, what for me, the friendship. I think that for Glenn and I, because of everything we've gone through, because of our relationship, a lot of times in our marriage, we never say, this is my, this is my husband, this is my wife. We always look at stuff from like, this is my friend. You know what I mean? This is my friend. There are things that I feel like if you want to make it work, of course I was hurt. Of course I felt terrible. But for me, and I'll say this to anybody, it opened up a line of communication. The infidelity opened up a line of communication that had been shut. And it really did. It opened up a line of communication because you just going on and on. You got to think like this was can't even think of the year, but so many years. And we have been together maybe at this time 10 years, maybe at this time. So over the course of the years, there's no excuse for it. You can't justify infidelity. But what I will do is I will take ownership and to say, you know what? All right, this is a line of communication. Let's get this right. Now, if you choose to do it again, hit the road, Jack. But it did open up a line of communication for me to really figure out what was going on, figure out my shortcomings, his shortcomings. And we just kind of, we did go seek counseling to make it work. So for me, I would tell anybody that's experiencing infidelity, you know in your heart how that person makes you feel. You know how you're being treated behind closed doors. You know if someone deserves a second chance or not. So I'm not going to tell any woman to sit there and be miserable and to accept infidelity. But what I will tell a woman is to weigh it out, get a piece of paper, write down all the pros, write down all the cons, and figure out why it happened and have an adult conversation and go from there.
I just love you. I don't know. I really love you. That's amazing advice. And I just feel like your personality, like you're just super positive, like especially throughout this experience. But how has reality TV been treating you, and what has this experience been like?
Oh my gosh, it's an experience, girl, that I cannot even explain. It's different. It's like your normal is now abnormal. Everything is kind of different. You got to think, for me, like, I'm basic. What you see is what you get. If I see you, I'm like, girl, where you get that headband from? You know what I'm saying? So it's totally different. So I'm having to adjust who I am a little bit. I'm having to be super careful in a lot of situations because I do have a son, and even for my own safety. But reality TV has been an experience, and I'm all about growing. So this is just another step, to my destiny.
I love it. I love it. So tell us how you got involved in this project. Like, I mean, how did you even get involved in this reality TV world?
Well, actually, let's take it from the top. There was a guy who was working with me. He was helping me with my brunches. He wanted to do reality TV. He and I had both had the vision of showcasing Mississippi in a different light. I have my organization with Women Brunch Mississippi, National Women's Brunch Organization, that's catered to female entrepreneurs, Black women in the state of Mississippi who are doing positive things. I wanted to personally showcase women, allow women to get together and network. You pour into me, I pour into you. How can I serve you? How can you serve me? So once we started working together, he had the idea as well as a reality TV. He wanted to showcase the state in a different light. So we hopped on a call, a consultation was sent. We hopped in Carlos King, the king of reality, of course. I mean, you have to give it up for the king. So the king of reality, he hit back and he scheduled a consultation. And, that was like a dream come true for someone such as himself to really take the time to see what Mississippi is, what Mississippi has to offer, so that's something that I'll always be grateful for. And, I'm just excited about it all.
I love that aspect. I'm gonna be honest with you because I've been to Mississippi once, but this is really showcasing it in a whole new light. And it's like, oh, I would like to get, back there. There's so many beautiful parts of it. Yeah, Jackson. I will. I definitely will.
Yeah.
So I did want to talk about your brunches though, since you touched on that. Tell us how that was, really birthed. And I really want to know what you felt in the first episode when Marie, got into a confrontation with Latrice.
Well, the brunch came from, like I said, I've always served other people in whatever capacity that may be for them. I just never made it into a brand. So Women Brunch Mississippi came about. Like me, female entrepreneurship. I didn't know to register. I didn't know what to do. All I knew is that I wanted to sell this and I wanted to buy for $1 and make $5. So I had no idea the outline of entrepreneurship. So I figured it out, right? So my job, once we learn something and once we're blessed with knowledge or whatever it is we're blessed with, is our responsibility to pour into other people, right? So what I did, I created this platform of entrepreneurship. Didn't know if one person would come to the brunch, didn't know if 100 people would come to the brunch. I just knew that was heavy on me, and that's manifestation. We move in the moment, we move in the feeling, right? So I moved in that feeling after attending an event in Atlanta, and I was watching an event, just network. I'm like, we need this here in Mississippi. So I started it, I created it. My first brunch was called Mingling Over Mimosas Business Brunch. Again, $20. Did not know if one person would come. I had 60 people to sign up. Girl, thank God I knew the catering company because we had over like 120 something people waiting to come in, right? So if that was not encouragement, if that was not a push, that this is something that we need here. So the brunches are not so much, they're empowering, of course, but the brunches are business brunches. They're catered to entrepreneurship. They're catered to helping women start businesses. We have banks there. We have people there who are credit specialists. I had the Boss Bank where we had the loan originators to come in, and over half of that room got funded for a loan. So that's what these brunches are for, to help women start businesses and to help women expand businesses, whether it be through a loan, whether it be through a grant writer, whatever they need. This platform can provide that for them.
I love it. And how did you feel when Marie got into that confrontation with Latrice? I think it was the first episode.
Yes, actually, I was in the back, preparing for my affirmations that were all over the place, because at this time I'm confused. My affirmations, it sounded like a 5-year-old saying them. I'm all over the place at this time. So I didn't know what was really going on until I sat down. And for me, I just feel like there's a time and place for everything. And that definitely wasn't the place to address anything like that in front of people, being the first, being their first time meeting. I do see Marie felt comfortable, as she said, in that conversation with them, whatever conversation they were having, to talk about it. So I really don't know the ins and out what happened prior, but I do know that brunch was not for that. None of my brunches. We've never experienced anything like that. And I just believe that there's a time and place to do everything. And you can pull a woman to the side and have a conversation with her, and just go from there, especially with the brands. Girl, Black women, we love our baby. Don't come for our brand, so it was, if we could do it over, I truly believe in my heart that had Marie really thought it through, she would have been like, well, maybe this girl won't respond like I would respond, So, it was just.
And you and Marie are good friends. Would you consider her to be the closest person to you on the cast?
Oh, absolutely. Marie and I, we started as a business relationship. And after that, a business as far as attending the brunches. So over the course of the years, we developed a personal relationship. But I have a relationship with, the other girls as well.
Mm-hmm. And you knew them prior to the show, or were you more so?
Yeah. We met through the brunches, like Antoinette. She was a sponsor at the brunch, Tamara Cherie, she's hosted the brunches, so absolutely.
That's awesome. Okay, so Marie, she had another incident with the Caucasian woman, Kaylon. Is that her name, Kaylon? Yeah. What do you think about that situation? In all honesty, especially in the climate that we're in, the social climate that we're in.
Oh my gosh. I've had so many mixed emotions about this situation, to where I just don't, it's hard to explain, I felt like when Marie said, this is about her, let's talk, because Marie, only Tamara at this time knew about the Ferris Street. Only Tamara knew about the Ferris Street idea at this time. So Marie had been calling me like, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? I'm like, I am not telling you. I'll tell you at the brunch. So when Marie made that comment about, it's Lateshia moment, let her figure out what's going on. I think that whatever Kaylin was talking about on that end, she got very offended because of what happened at the prior brunch. And Kaylin and Antoinette are friends, so I'm pretty sure she knew what happened at the brunch before. So again, this is one of those situations where it's like, you know what, it wasn't about Marie, it wasn't about Kaylin, it was about Ferris Street and what it is that I'm doing. That's why this emergency brunch was held. And let's be clear, the brunch was for African, it was for us women celebrating our Southern heritage as Black women. That's what the brunch was catered to. So whatever sparked her at the table, whatever conversation they had down at the end, again, I will say there's not a time or place. There's a time and place for everything. So this particular brunch was very, very, very important to me. You know what I mean? So it was just a time and place for it. Again, it goes back to it's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, you've been manifesting everything. And let's talk about, is it Ferris Street? Is that how you pronounce it?
Ferris Street. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want to make sure I got it right. Tell us about that project and like where it stands right now, because this is just exciting to watch in real time.
Thank you. Well, it started from my grandfather. Keep in mind, I knew absolutely nothing about the Fair Street history or anything like that. My grandfather, he's the one that told me about Fair Street and how his eyes lit up when he talked about Fair Street and how it was a Black Mecca for Blacks. His sister had a salon down there, and he used to say a lot of times, you know, that I remind him of his sister. And I thought that was the biggest compliment because his sister was definitely a go-getter. His sister she was definitely all about Black entrepreneurship, Black women in general. So for him to compare me to his sister, I was like, okay, this is a big deal, you know. You know, your granddaddy compare you to a sister or a mama. That's a big deal. You know what I mean? Definitely. So I wanted to pick that up, and I was like, you know what? That is great. So about 3 years prior, I reached out, but they had like a lot of different things going on, you know, with Fair Street. So it was perfect time. I called again. They were like, hey, you know, so it was a perfect time to get out and start learning and talking to Miss Dorothy. As you got a chance to see Miss Dorothy, a little feisty, honey. I love me Miss Dorothy. Yes, honey. So that's where Fair Street came from. Like I said, it was birthed from my grandfather, and I'm learning it. And right now I've been meeting with different leaders, the councilmen. I'm just trying to figure out step by step who the owners, like what's going on, because those properties are owned by individuals.
That seemed to be the biggest obstacle, honestly, with some of the buildings. I mean, they also were really expensive, you know, and older infrastructures that need to be managed. But, you know, you're just pressing past, you know, every single obstacle that's coming your way. So this is exciting.
Yeah, that's how you gotta, girl. You gotta move. You gotta just keep moving and keep believing and keep manifesting and hey, keep speaking things into existence. And whatever is for you, you know, if you're going to attract it, you know, every day we wake up as magnets. You know, I'm a magnet. Every single day. Oh, I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. But every day, you know, it's a magnet. So everything's aligning. Everything is you know, it's working out good. So
and some of the ladies are going to join you in partnering and investing in that area.
Well, Marie did say at the brunch that she actually would be an investor. Latrice was definitely interested as well. I just have to get everything lined up on my end and do the legwork and make it happen, you know. So I just wanted to make sure that the girls will be interested in joining so that I could move forward. So they were all excited about it. So that makes me happy.
It's exciting. It's exciting to see what everybody has, you know, going on. So Antoinette, you and Antoinette had a little hiccup because of the Marie situation. It seemed like, you know, because you and Marie are so close and her and Latrice are so close. Where does your relationship stand now? And why you tug on that woman's wig?
It was all love. I think that Antoinette has a funny personality. I think she's shady as hell, as she would say. But I really think that, you know, for me to actually do that, she would have received it well as she did, and vice versa. I think that we do share similar personalities in a way of not the shadiness, but a way of like, you know what? Okay, I got you. You know what I mean? That type, and kind of move forward. So that's just what it was. I mean, first of all, she said that she talked crap about my brunch. So
she did come out and just say that. How did that make you feel?
For one, coming from her, I mean, in the brunch that she attended, we didn't even have waffles or drumsticks. So, you know. you know,
it was a little shade in there, you know.
It was very shady.
Affirmations.
It was very shady. It was very, very shady. So, hey, I work on my waffles and you work on your wig.
Oh my God. That was funny. That was just funny. It just took me off guard. I wasn't ready.
Girl, we crazy down here. You know, it is what it is. We just like to have a good time, girl.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. Okay, so back to business, because I really want to get your business advice, and I just think it's so important because, like you said, just what you're doing for your community, where you're pouring into others. I definitely want you to continue to pour in our audience. You've dropped so many gems. So tell us how you actually manifest, and what career advice would you give to wives and mothers?
Manifestation, I visualize daily. I visualize daily. I speak things into existence daily. I wake up every morning and I do affirmation. I set the tone for my day. I think meditation is very great. Once I started meditating a few years ago, oh my gosh, the day was just so much easier, you know. So it's very important to visualize. It's very important to speak affirmations daily. And speak things into your life, speak things into existence, and try not to focus on what you don't have, but focus on what you do have, because as we all know, gratitude is a magnet for miracles, right? So it's very important to focus on the things that we do have, visualize, be clear when you put things out to the universe, and allow it to come back, boomerang effect. The career that I would give anybody who's wanting to go into entrepreneurship is first have your mind right, right? And anything you do, your mind it's a mindset, right? You can't go into anything expecting to fail. Yeah. You can't go into anything in doubt. Really put a plan together, really figure out and have a clear vision as to what it is that you want to do, whether it's love. You want a husband, and if you want a husband, why all your stuff in the closet? Where your husband's stuff going on? If you want a wife, why are you taking up the whole garage? Pull on the other side so your wife can have room to come in. Well, you want a business? Well, why are you sleeping till 1 o'clock? You know what I mean? So the things that we want in life, we have to get our mindset right and start acting as if it's here already. That's how we manifest. You know, so the career advice, if you want to do something, get your mind right. Understand what it is that you want to do, your purpose. Do what feels good to you, not because it's working for Jane or John, but what's in your heart. Because we all have a God-given purpose, right? That's why we wake up every day. So figure out what makes you feel good and act on it, regardless of how crazy that may sound to somebody else, regardless of how crazy that may sound to yourself. If there's something that continues to gnaw at your spirit, that means you need to act on it, whatever that may be.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Yes. I mean, that's a word right there, you know?
I'm just saying.
Like you said, just keep pressing forward too, because I mean, your friends, your husband, whatever the case may be, you got to keep pressing forward.
Keep moving. Keep moving. You got to keep moving.
I love it. So if you had to, say one word or to describe each member of the cast, what would it be?
One word?
That might be hard.
One word?
Okay, a sentence.
Let's see. Marie is definitely outspoken. She's smart. She's an entrepreneur. She's a boss babe. Tambra, I would say, very funny, positive, and she loves her career. Antoinette, kudos to starting your own practice and coming out of a divorce, but you're shady.
And then it's Latrice, definitely a goddess. She's on her boss babe stuff with her hair, with everything that she's doing. She's definitely an inspiration to young women. So I mean, all of us are just doing what we're doing. And one thing that I like to say is that we all of the Bells, I think they would agree. We all have the same view, which is to inspire other people, which is to become the best version of ourselves, but look from different windows, and that's okay. So I love all the ladies. I do. I love their personalities. Like, honestly, I truly do. I love all the ladies. I just do. And the only reason I'm saying Atlanta Shady, because she'll say it in a minute. I'm shady. So,
yeah. And she owns it, and it's funny, and I love that about her. I think that's really cool about her personality. So I have my final question. It's very important, and I really want some good clarity on this. How did you name your boobs Mercy and Grace?
Girl, Mercy and Grace, honey. We've had those names forever, right? And Glenn and I hadn't shared this with anybody. So Glenn and I, girl, one of them, they just hang a little low on the side. And Glenn said, "Oh, you need some Mercy." And I was like, "Mercy and Grace." And that's how Mercy and Grace popped out, girl. And we've been saying that for years, like years. That's why it's so easy for us to say that, because we're always talking about Mercy and Grace. I mean, always. So it's not anything new.
I love it. I love it. Well, we have to come and touch back with you after the season is over, so we can just see where you at, because we would love to hear from you. Tell our audience, where they can find you or how they can support
you. Absolutely. On Instagram, I am Lateshia Nashea, LATESHIA _Nashea, NECHELLE. National Women's Brunch.com. You can find me there. Facebook, Lateshia Pearson. Twitter, Lateshia Pearson. So I'm out there. Hashtag Lateshia Pearson, LATESHIA Pearson. I mean, I'm not hard to find.
You are favorite. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate to say it, but like, you are. Like, you're so positive. You're such a go-getter. You just are the epitome of a queen. So I just appreciate you.
See, now you have my glue running.
I know.
My lashes. Girl, thank you. I appreciate it. So pretty. You made this interview amazing. If there's anything that I can do, or the organization, to help you, whatever it is that you want to do, please do not hesitate to reach out. So thank you, Queen.
I sure will. I'm going to connect with you now.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Jackson too, and vice versa when you're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Let us know. But thank you so much for your time, Queen.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you too. Good night. Bye.
Bye. Oh my goodness. So we just had a bomb conversation with Lateshia, excuse me. I'll be saying people's names wrong. Y'all gotta forgive me. Lateshia, I just love her so much. I love her spirit. I love everything that she stands for. And if you guys have not tuned into Belle Collective, you need to do that. It's an amazing show that really just shows strong Black entrepreneurs who happen to be women. This is, what we celebrated Women's Day, Women's International Day, the other day. I think this is Women's Month. It's every day of every month is Women's Day for me, but we're celebrating those things. So we have to support shows like this that really show us in a positive light. Now, it's gonna have a little bit of tea. It's gonna have a little bit of, drama. That's what keeps reality TV interesting. But at the same time, the imagery that we're seeing through this show is one that I think is just worth it, and we need to see it. So make sure you tune in to Belle Collective on OWN. I'm your girl, Shayla Raye. And we are going to be interviewing Marie this week as well, Saturday. So we'll be doing a live as well at 1:30. Eastern time. So make sure that you tune in for that one as well, because we got some interesting questions to ask Miss Marie. You know, she's outspoken, she's fiery, and she's something else. So I'm really excited to speak with her at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live this Saturday. But I'm your girl, Shayla Raye. Make sure you stay tuned. And you know you can check us out on www.instyleatlanta.com. Peace.